bad enough for the Prime Minister to want to give our energy jobs to the Americans who've doubled their production over the last couple of decades, but he wants to actually give it over to the Venezuelan, Iranian, and Russian dictatorships by cutting Canadian energy production by 35%. Mr. Speaker, the Americans reduced their emissions by more than, while ours went up, by increasing natural gas production and using it to replace dirty coal. We could do exactly the same. Why won't he follow a common sense plan to produce more clean, green Canadian energy rather than giving our jobs to dirty dictators?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Performance was designed to distract from is the fact that under the Conservative government of Mr. Harper and that current leader, they couldn't get anything built. We built the Trans Mountain Pipeline extension. We built TMX. We understand that getting good prices for our oil was important, not just for Alberta, but for the entire Canadian economy. And we are moving forward to make sure that even as the oil companies are making record profits, we're putting a cap on emissions, not on production, not on profits, but on emissions, because Canadians care.
May I ask the honourable member from Lakelands please not take the floor unless he's recognised by the chair. The honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Common sense Conservatives approved and saw the completion of 4 pipelines with no tax dollars to subsidize them. And we believe businesses should make money rather than take money. By contrast, this Prime Minister has pushed $100 billion of energy investment out of Canada, most of it into the United States. And once again, I can imagine that the champagne will be popping over at the Trump Tower when they find out how much more Canadian money this Prime Minister wants to send south. Why does he want to kill Canadian jobs? Why don't we bring home production and paychecks for our people?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
The Leader of the Opposition just admitted that he wouldn't have put a penny into TMX. He wouldn't have made it happen. This is something that matters to Alberta. It matters to the oil workers there.
Order.
Someone just said, wow, you're starting to realize how the economy works.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister from the top, please.
Mr. Speaker, the Conservative leader just admitted he would not have invested in TMX. He would not have gotten it built. But, Mr. Speaker, on this side of the aisle, we will stand up for Alberta. We will stand up for oil and gas workers across the country, because we know that getting overseas markets for our oil and gas...
He just said he'd stand up for Alberta. That's a good one.
Colleagues.
Does he really believe that?
It should be possible for the honourable member from Lakelands, please. The Honourable Prime Minister, 25 seconds left, please.
Mr. Speaker, once again we see that the Conservative leader will not stand up for workers across the country. He won't stand up for Albertan oil workers. We got the TMX pipeline built because we know that getting a better price for our oil by being able to ship it across the Pacific is a way of creating jobs and prosperity that allow us to build strong jobs and economy for the future. The Conservative leader does not understand that we need to invest in workers to build a stronger future, not offer them cuts.
He's getting angry now.
That was hilarious.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, when we were in government, we didn't have to offer $30 billion bailouts for pipelines because they made money. That's how business works. He wants to create a bailout economy, and let's clarify how this worked. $30 billion. $7 billion of which went to a Texas oil company, which took our tax dollars down to Texas to build American pipelines. Mr. Speaker, all our X's are in Texas. Why don't we bring home those jobs for Canada?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
You just heard it perfectly clearly.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we just heard it very clearly from the Leader of the Conservative Party. He would not have built the TMX pipeline. Right. Mr. Speaker, we know how important it is to make sure we get a good price for our oil so we can invest in the kinds of solutions and technologies that are going to continue to create prosperity and opportunity for energy workers, not just in Alberta, but right across the country. We will continue to be there to invest in a stronger future by understanding that renewables are an important part of the future, but we need to be able to pay for them. The Conservative leader does not understand how to build a strong future or how to build a strong economy.
But you don't even think about monetary policy.
Then I have
The Honourable Member for Belleuil-Chambly. Mr. Speaker, the votes have not even finished being counting in the United States, and there's already a debate between the Conservative leader and the Prime Minister to see which one will support the oil patch more strongly. That is nonsense. So are they completely turning their back on any consideration of climate change, and that the green economy is being abandoned to give place to the oil patch?
Build
The
more
Right
pipelines,
Honourable
baby.
Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, I can see the irony here when I hear that coming from someone who approved oil drilling in Anticosti. He knows very well that we need to build a greener economy and protect the environment at the same time. And it's possible. That's why we have capped greenhouse gas emissions in the oil industry across the country. We have also put a price on pollution to put more money in the pockets of Canadians, and we have continued to reduce our emissions while creating economic growth, which is a first for Canada. We're going to create jobs and protect the environment. The Honourable Member for Belleuil-Chambly. I might tell the Prime Minister to check his facts because I never approved any such drilling in Anticosti. Now, that being said, let's talk about security because tomorrow I am going to become the other leader in the House who has seen the report that will name the MPs who have been compromised by foreign interference. So there is still one left who doesn't want to clean up his caucus. So will the Prime Minister, will he ensure that he is going to put 2% into defense spending, the Right Honourable Prime Minister? It is clear that I don't always agree with the leader of the Bloc Québécois, but I must recognize and thank him for having gotten his security clearance so he can get his security briefings like all other party leaders except for the Conservative leader, who does have a responsibility to protect our democracy. The Conservative leader, for unexplainable reasons, I don't know what he has to hide, he refuses to get his security clearance. He refuses to get secret security briefings that would allow him to protect his party and thus democracy. We don't know why, but he refuses to take this seriously, Mr. Speaker.